So what do you do when your grant proposal has been rejected? We're going to talk about it today. Hey everyone, this is Tiffany with Boss on the Budget. I help new and small nonprofits get up and running. If you need help with your nonprofit, don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I drop a new video every single week. I also have a bunch of free and low-cost resources, so check them out in the description box below. They help you start your nonprofit, but also write your first grant proposal. Okay, so let's talk about what to do when you are rejected for a grant. I'm going to put a dose of reality in this video early on. You will hear no, and you're going to hear no a bunch of times, but a no is not a reflection on the value of your program. When you hear a no, it may have nothing to do with you. It may have nothing to do with your proposal. It could be so many different reasons why you're rejected. The first thing you really need to do is just check yourself. If you're getting down on yourself because you keep hearing no a lot, then it may not even be you. You should always monitor and see, like, if you're just really not successful at all, to see maybe it's the organization of your project or maybe your ask isn't compelling enough. That could be it. But just because you get a no here and there does not mean that there's something wrong with your project or something wrong with your proposal writing skills, okay? Just make sure you get that straight before we go into it. So what do you do when you've been rejected? What should be your next step? So the first thing I would do is say thank you. I would reach out to the funder and I would send them an email and just say thank you for the opportunity for applying. And if you want, you can ask them when there will be another opportunity to apply. A lot of times they'll make you wait, or they wait for the next round, or maybe you have to wait a year. But I would use that opportunity to reach out to the funder and start building a relationship with them. You can also, to my next point, ask them if you can set up a meeting to talk about how to improve your proposal. This is completely okay to do. A lot of people think that you can't do this, but you can. Now, some funders don't have the time to do that, right? Some funders just are not going to spend time carving out time on their schedule to talk to you about why your proposal was rejected, but some will. And that will give you insight into what needs to change or what needs to shift. And that'll help you realize that it may not have been your proposal at all. It may be that they ran out of money. It may be that there were other, opportunities or other programs that were a priority for them. There are so many different things that go into the decision. So you're in a better position when you know why. So you need to ask why. And if they can't do a meeting, I know COVID is impacting face-to-face, but try a virtual meeting or even just an email follow-up. And often in some proposals, like with grant proposals, they'll give you a scoring sheet so you can see how you scored on their scoring criteria. Okay, so don't be afraid to ask why, but don't frame it like, why didn't you fund us? Frame it as, how can we improve for the next time around? And oh, by the way, when will we be able to apply again? And that goes to my next point. This is going to be a really short video because all of this is connected to each other. The next point is to reapply. Just because you were rejected does not mean you can't apply again. But what you need to do is take that feedback that you got from that particular funder and apply it to your new proposal, okay? And some things probably may not need to shift based on the feedback that you get. Sometimes the feedback is, it was the end of the year and we ran out of money, but we were really interested in that proposal. Well, that's a signal to you that you need to go ahead on and recycle that same proposal, update it if you need to, and when it's open again, that opportunity opens again, you need to be one of the first people in line, or like in the virtual line, to submit your proposal, okay? So don't be afraid to reapply and keep reapplying. If you keep getting rejected, keep applying, because at some point you will hear a yes. And to my final point, you really should use this as an opportunity to open a door to a relationship with the funder. And this is my last point. I told you this is going to be quick. But a lot of people think that grant writing is like transactional. I just write a proposal and you tell me if I win or I lose. And if either way, I go on to the next thing. That's not how you should look at grant funding. You should look at building relationships with your funders, because when you start getting in good with funders, there are all these added benefits to that relationship. First, you get just to know how they are, and the opportunity to get more grant awards or grant funding if opportunities present themselves. But they also have friends. So if they really like your program, they may refer you to other funders or talk about you to other funders, and they may just want to help. So they may provide advice or connect you with consultants, or maybe even pay for consultants or infrastructure to kind of build up the internal processes of your organization because they want to help and they want to support. There are so many ways you can leverage a funder relationship. And one good way to do that is through a rejection, because that puts you in a position where like the pressure is gone, right? You don't have to worry about whether or not you're going to win or not. It's just, hey, I'm just humbly coming to say, what can we do better? Is there something that we're missing, right? And that gives like a more of an in for a funder to want to talk to you because they know, okay, I don't have to worry about whether or not I'm funding them or that. They're not coming to me for that. They genuinely want help. And they'll be more responsive and more receptive to people who are coming asking for advice and coming asking just for how to move forward. What's the best way? Okay. That shows that you're savvy. That shows that you really care about the work that you're doing when you kind of stop looking at them as an ATM. Stop looking at them as the bank, but looking to them as your partner. That will get you much further ahead, okay? So those are just my quick tips on what to do when your grant proposal is rejected. If you need help writing your proposal, I have a grant writing group. You can join in the link below in the description box. I also have a grant writing workbook where it can help you write out each section of proposals so that when it's time for you to apply, you already have some text and some language that you can use when you're writing your proposals. That link is in the box below. If you have any questions for me, visit me at www.bossonabudget.com, and I will see you in the next video.